Well, my peoples, what is happening in the world, nobody is ready to tell peoples what is happening in the world. And I'm here to make it very clear to you whatever is happening in the world right now. Because whatever is happening, nobody is ready to tell you the truth. But first of all, we have many things to discuss today. But first of all, I'm gonna start with whatever is happening to our peoples in Tunisia. First of all, I will start with that, then we can go back and take some toes in some problems that is happening right now in the world. And nobody is ready to tell you the truth. And everybody is trying to make themselves like they know something to say about things. What mean?
These are the kind of speech we like. These are the kind of people we need in Africa. Africa needs to rise, and Africa needs to be in charge of their resources. Africa needs to take decision based on their own opinion, based on their own originality. Africa don't need to be controlled by the West all the time.
People are giving you news out there. Many people are giving you words out there for you to believe what is happening. But they are not ready to tell you the truth. They are just ready for you to listen to them, but they are not ready to tell you what is really happening. First of all, let's start with whatever is happening to our peoples in Tunisia. What is the cause of all those things? I will be very fast on that. Then from there, I will tell you whatever is happening between Europe, Russia, Ukraine, America, NATO, whatever is happening there. I'm trying to be very patient today to say whatever is happening from the beginning to the ending. I'm trying to make it very clear today to my peoples out there, especially to my African peoples. But first of all, I'm gonna start with whatever my African peoples are passing through in Tunis and what is the cause of it. Nobody is trying to make the alarm of what is the cause of that problem right now. What black people are passing through in Tunisia. Nobody is trying to tell you the source of those problems. The source of the problem that is happening in Tunis to the black peoples, the harassment, the maltreatments, the dumping of black peoples in Tunisia. Nobody is ready to tell you where that problem came from and who are the cause of those problems. Nobody is ready to tell you that fact. They are just making it to Africans like Africans are being chased away from Tunis because they have caused a crime in Tunisia. No, that is not the cause of that problem. We are going to make it very clear. If African leaders are afraid to tell you, the Africans, what is the perfectly problems of that, I will be here today to make it clear and tell you who are those peoples behind the black people's sufferation in Tunisia. Who are those people behind this? They are behind this and they are making themselves like they care about Africans. Right? This is why they will never like me. They hate me because I try to point them out whenever they try to put their hands into Africa to make black Africans suffer more and more. They are the cause of it. But today they are the one populating it more than even Africans themselves. And they are never mentioning themselves that they are the cause. But today I'm here to tell you that first of all, let's start with this. EU, European Union, have paid Tunisia to stop migrants from entering to Europe. European Union have paid Tunisia and have an agreement with Tunisia. EU chief Ursula von der Leyen. Ursula. That is the EU chief who had made this very clear to the Tunisia. And Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, when they went to Tunisia, these three people, they were the people who joined together to go to Tunisia to have this discussion with Tunisian government. My people, I want you people to listen very well and say to all African peoples, let them know the cause of this problem. It's not because our brothers have made a crime in Tunisia, that's why they are chasing them away. No. The problem of that's what I'm going to tell you today. The peoples behind it. The chief of EU, European Union, Ursula, and the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, and the Dutch Prime Minister, the German Prime Minister, Mark Rutte. These three people joined together and go to Tunisia last time. What meeting do they have with Tunisia? The EU is calling it, when they meet with Tunisian president, the EU is calling it comprehensive strategic partnership. Tunis is ready. Tunis is now doing this because they get money out of it. Why Tunis is doing this? Why Tunis is sending black people away? There's a reason behind it, because they are getting money out of it. They are getting money out of it. And how much money are they getting out of this? How much money that is making Tunisian government to chase black people away, to make sure that no black man have the coast or have the boat to cross the sea, the Mediterranean Sea, to come to Europe? How much money Tunisian government is getting from this? EU have promised Tunis with sum of 1 billion euro in every year. 1 billion. That is a fact. If it is a lie, I'm living in Europe. Tell the European Union to arrest me. I swear to God. If I am lying against them for whatever I'm saying here, if it is wrong, tell the European Union to arrest me right now. And because I'm in Europe and they know where I stay and they know which residence I have. Because they are the one who give me. So they know where I stay. They know the residence I have. If I am lying against them, let them come and arrest me. If EU chief Ursula and Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, and the German Prime Minister Mark Rutte, if they are not behind this, whatever is happening to black people right now today in Tunisia, if they are not behind it, let them arrest me and take me to court right now. Right now. But nobody is mentioning these peoples. Nobody is mentioning them in this problem. Whatever they are emphasizing in media is black people have committed a crime in Tunis and now Tunisian government is sending them away. This is what they have been emphasizing to us. And we believe that our fellow black people make a crime. That's why they are sending them away from Tunis. But there is a big crime behind this. Against the human right. This is the agents. This is what they are doing right now. EU chief Ursula and Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, and German Prime Minister Mark Rutte, they are against the human right now. But where is human right? Human right is not speaking. Whatever they are doing in Tunisia right now to pay Tunisia the sum of 1 billion euro in every year to stop migration from migrating, that is a crime against human right. We all know it, and we all know the human right. That is crime against human right. But where is that so-called human right organization who was mentioning African leaders who was threatening African leaders that if they don't accept LGBTQ in African countries, they are against human right? Where is that so-called human right organization when they are perfectly aware that EU Prime Minister, EU Chief Ursula and Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy, and Dutch Land Prime Minister, that is German Prime Minister Mark Rutte, when they are making this crime in Tunisia? Nobody can stop migration. I make it very clear. There is nobody in this world that can stop Africans from migrating to enter for Europe. If you stop it, call me a bastard. I tell you this. If they can stop migration, let them call me a bastard. They don't know what they have caused to themselves. And now they are regretting why they killed Mohammed Gaddafi. You must face the wrath by killing Mohammed Gaddafi. You must face the wrath. They must face it. Nobody can stop migrants, African black peoples from migrating to enter Europe. Nobody in this world. If you don't believe me, whatever they have been paying to Tunisia, it go in vain because they can never stop it. They can never stop the migration. Stop making it. And I see so many Africans in media taking news from the EU, from the Western media, and coming to emphasize it to their own people that because of the migrants we are chased away from Tunis because they commit a crime. But they don't even know the source. The Western media will never tell you that EU Chief Prime Minister, the European Union Chief Ursula, and Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, and Mark Rutte, the German Minister, those are the peoples behind this. Nobody, the Western media will never tell you this. They will never tell you that the European Union is behind this rubbish that is happening to black people right now. But now, if you see, European Union Parliament is now talking like they want to help black migrants who are in Tunisia, who are suffering. Look how our peoples are suffering between Tunisia and Libya. Look how they are suffering out there. Nobody is ready to tell you the truth. They are just telling you that because our people make a crime. No, our people doesn't make any crime. The African black peoples, migrants in Tunisia, they don't make any crime. Because of the Tunisian government is receiving a huge amount of money from the European Union. European Union have promised Tunisian government a huge amount of money, a sum of 1 billion euro every year. If they can stop the migration, if they can start maltreating the migration. That's why the Tunisian government took this first action to take all migrants away and put them in Sahara. That is an action that to show the European Union that we have been doing the job you asked us to do. Now, when the year finishes, we are waiting for our 1 billion euro. That's why Tunisian government took this decision. And nobody is telling you that. From there, let's jump up and go. What is happening? You know, when I want to talk about this story, I feel so happy. The story between Russia and Ukraine and America. I made a little bit video to talk to NATO. And I see so many Africans being lamenting, complaining, insulting me why I made that speech against NATO. So many black Africans were insulting me under the comments. I know they may come to the window to watch me right now. They were insulting me there. Why do I make that speech? To tell NATO if they want to fire Russia, let them fire Russia. Let them stop lamenting. Let them stop posting that we are warning Russia. NATO is warning Russia. When I made that video, many people are insulting me. And I said I must come to life to make it clear to them whatever is happening. Whatever is happening between Russia and Ukraine. Look, a bridge was fired. And whatever I'm going to say here is not my words. Whatever I said about Vladimir Putin is the word from Vladimir Putin. And whatever I say about Zelensky is the word from Zelensky. It's not my words. I just want people to listen and get this into their heads and know what is going on. I don't talk in my own ideas, but I talk in reality. What is happening in reality? This is why they will never like me, because I don't like talking about my own mind to people, because my own mind is different from what is happening in reality. And I really talk about the reality that is happening. I don't calculate things in my mind and say, oh, I think this is happening, then I must tell this to my people. No. I look in the reality, what is really happening, and I take it out and give it to my people to learn from it. Why am I happy about the Russian and Ukraine war and America being going down and UK and NATO being going down? Why am I happy? Because I'm happy because whatever they have caused, whatever damages they caused in Africa is now turning back to them. They are now feeling like this war is really paining them. So they are going to feel the same pain Africans feel when they cause war in African countries, when they cause war in Ethiopia, when they cause war in Syria, when they cause war in Libya, when they cause war in Burkina Faso, when they cause war in Guinea, when they cause war in Cameroon, when they cause war in Sierra Leone. I want them to feel the same thing. They are feeling now the same thing, what Africans pass through when they go into Africa to make wars happen in Africa more and more. After they fire the bridge, Putin says, I am not the one who said it. I took this speech from Putin himself. Putin said, due to the terrorist attack, the roadway on several span of the Crimean bridge was seriously damaged. As a result, both automobile and railway traffic were temporarily stopped. Considering that the second terrorist attack on the Crimean bridge has already taken place. This is a speech of Putin, not my speech. Take it as the speech of Putin. Putin says, I am waiting for Congress proposal to approve the security of this strategical important transport facility. This morning, we discussed this with the colleague in details. At the end, I would like to repeat that what have happened is yet another terrorist attack or terrorist act committed by Kiev regime. This is the word from Putin. This crime is useless from the military standpoint, because the Crimean bridge is not used for military logistics since long ago. It is also a cruel crime because innocent civilians have been killed. Of course, there will be a response from the Russian side. This is a word from Putin. That means he is going to pay back whatever they do in Crimean bridge. In Crimean bridge, the firing squad that fired Crimean bridge, Putin say he is gonna revenge. I am not the one who said it. And let's go to the other part. Let's go to Zelensky, the word from Zelensky. Zelensky make a miscalculation of three things that I'm going to tell you today. Zelensky, the Ukraine president, make a miscalculation of three things. Overestimating Western support. Number one. Number two, he misread Ukraine's importance to West. That is number two. Number three, he misread Putin's intent to invade. Putin's intention. Let's start with the number one. The number one, Zelensky think the West will support him in all ways. Biden was not ready to remove Ukraine from war, but supplying them with small weapons that can't help the militaries. Biden is investing in this war to get more money. NATO is investing in this war to get more money. I think people must listen to this very well. Biden was not ready to remove Ukraine from the war, but supplying them with small weapons that can help the military. Biden is investing in this war to get more income. NATO is investing in this war to get more income. Zelensky was believing that America and NATO will help for free. On the 1st of September last year, Zelensky says, it's not my words, I took this word from Zelensky himself. Zelensky says, I feel the President Biden, because at that time Zelensky was feeling like they are going to help him. Zelensky was feeling like he will get full support. Zelensky said, I feel the President Biden. Well, not only do I feel, I heard that he personally supports Ukraine on the issues of granting NATO membership. But it is hard for me to tell what's the part is going to be like. In April 2021, Zelensky said again, Zelensky seemed very confident of America and NATO support. He says, President Biden assured me that Ukraine will never be left alone against Russia aggression. And actually, Zelensky hoped for a big thing, more helps from America. It's day 14 of the invasion. Europe is still buying Russian oil and gas. People who are intent to help Ukraine, they are still buying Russian gas and oil. The fact is, the West lead Ukraine on. They refuse to compromise. They promise all the support. But will the time come, when the time comes, NATO stood back and watched Ukraine in fire. This is miscalculation of Zelensky number 1. We go to miscalculation of Zelensky number 2. Zelensky overestimated Ukraine's importance to West. It was evidence in his words, in his own words. I took this from. He called Ukraine the cell of Europe. He said, the Ukraine vicim, Rokiv. For 8 years, Ukraine has been assailed. For 8 years, Ukraine has been holding back one of the greatest armies in the world. We stand alone, our borders, not the borders of European Union, and the missile system flew to Mariupol, not to European cities. The events confirm that comprehensive security in Europe is impossible if Ukraine sovereignty and territorial integrity is not restored. Again, Zelensky was wrong, very wrong to take that step. Zelensky was very wrong to think like that if EU is going to be disturbed by their own problems. Ukraine was expendable for the West. They were not serious about the NATO membership. They were not serious about the sanctions. For them, Ukraine was just a tool, something to irritate Putin. That's all. But that useful tool had an expired date. It was February 24th when Russia invaded, and this has happened before. Think back to Afghanistan. Think back to Afghanistan. I'm giving it to my people for you to put it in your mind. Think back in Afghanistan what America have done to Afghanistan in 1980s. Think back in Afghanistan, 1980s. America funded the Mujahideen to fight against the Soviet army. Was it because Afghanistan was strategically important for the West? No, it was not. The sole objective was to give the Soviet a bloody nose. Afghanistan was also a useful tool for America. The same with Georgia. America armed them in the late 2000s. They trained Georgia soldiers. They promised NATO membership in the future for Georgia. But when war broke out, NATO recoiled. Zelensky made the same mistake that Afghanistan and Georgia make. Because when Americans were using Georgia to train their militaries to fight, to go into war, they were promising them with NATO membership. And the same thing they did to Ukraine. They promised Ukraine with NATO membership. And what happened to Ukraine? Let's go to Zelensky miscalculation number 3. That is the last miscalculation. Zelensky failed to read Putin's mind. On this, you can actually blame him. Until the last moment, nobody thought there will be a war. From Zelensky, there will be threat. But eventually, Russia will pull back. This is what Zelensky was thinking. That was a confession wisdom. Even as late as January 28, Zelensky not buying the way to war. Zelensky was not ready for war. This is what Zelensky said. The feeling from the media is that we have a war. We have troops on the roads. We have mobilization. People are going somewhere. It does not. We do not need the panic. We do not need this panic. This is a word from Zelensky. Zelensky was fooled by West and NATO. Should he prepare better? Should Zelensky prepare better before this war? Should he consider Putin's proposal more seriously? Perhaps he should. But if you are Zelensky, listen to this. If you are Zelensky, he had the world's most powerful military alliance promising support from America and NATO. You have little weapons. You have little weapons pouring in Ukraine every day. You have promise of unprecedented sanctions on Russia. It is not surprising that Zelensky decided to fight. It is not surprising because he get promise from America, from NATO, from all parts of the world. They are giving him fake promises. When NATO promised him of membership in NATO, when America was promising him of supplying them with weapons, at the end of the day, right now, there is no weapons being supplied because they lose weapons. They have no weapons anymore to supply in Ukraine. And I will tell you,